Hi everybody, it's Heidi with the Weathered Fence Post and welcome to our channel. If you're new here, my husband Steve and I are resellers in the Raleigh-Garner, North Carolina area, and we have two booths, one at Antiques at Gresham Lake in North Raleigh and one at Collected Treasures in Garner. What we love to do on this channel is to take you out hunting for treasures and then go over the haul. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit of a combination. I actually did make it to an estate sale on Saturday. It's the first one I've been to in several weeks. And I picked up some items. I'm going to go over those rather quickly. And then at the very end of the video, for those of you that are long-term subscribers or even new that are come on new to the channel and are following my husband Steve's progress as he recovers from a severe chemical burn, I'm going to give an update on Steve. So let's go out hunting. Let's go to an estate sale that I went to very close to the hospital on Saturday, and let's see what we find. Okay, everybody, I was on my way to the hospital and I saw last night that I found an estate sale close to the hospital, so I thought, well, I'll give it a try, check it out. And actually there's a lot of cool stuff in here, kind of stuff that I like. So I thought, it's the first day, you know, we'll see where the prices are, but I saw a couple things and the prices looked like they were decent. So boy, what a ordeal it was getting to, though. I picked quickest route. You know, always gives you 3 routes on the, oh, look at that pretty garden. That's really pretty. Gives you 3 routes. I picked quickest. Oh my goodness, it took me through the Chapel Hill campus, and man, that was fun. All right, let's see what we can find in here. This was one of the things I wanted to come look at. I saw this online. I thought $12, that's not bad for a good set of binoculars. These are Tesco's. It's like a missing one lens cover. Get those out and look at them. It's a pretty tile. That's amazing. Wow. Oh my goodness, that's an amazing doll. This one's not too bad either. A couple of the dolls have sold from the doll sale, but not as many as I was hoping. So I probably will shy away from these dolls, but boy, that one's cool. What's this? Right here. That's neat. I wonder how much that is. No, I'll find out. So I would say that wasn't too bad of an estate sale. The prices were kind of like, I found some good pricing on some things, and other things I was like, oh, no way would I ever pay that. Like the Kachina dolls, I just was blown away by the pricing they had on those. Some of the artwork, it was just a little higher than, I was really quite shocked. But anyway, I did pick up, you saw me looking at this bowl. I like the color of this bowl especially, and then it has that nice ribbing on it. It is a Bosco ware, it's called. I don't know if I've picked, I feel like I've picked up a Bosco ware before. I'm sure it's not vintage. It's probably a newer type of style, but I just think it had a nice look, and I think the color was really good on it. I did pay $6 for it. I might have paid too much. We'll find out when I start doing my comps on everything. I haven't even taken time to do any of that. I also grabbed the beautiful pottery mug. I love the drip glaze and coloring on this. Now, I don't know, gosh, sometimes this light is so bright, it just gives you a glare, but there's just a little bit of a signature there. I'm not sure if this is a studio piece or a student piece. I'm thinking it's a studio piece, but either way, it's a great piece. I love the color on it. That drip glaze is beautiful, and I think somebody will really enjoy this. I think I paid $4 for this. Picked up a whole container of candles. They're called votive candles. They're not pillars, they're votive candles. And these were Pottery Barn, so I'm sure when these were purchased, they were some ridiculous price. But they were $6. I didn't think that was too bad. I'll definitely use them. You can never go wrong with having some candles, and I definitely like the ones that are unscented. Brand new in the box. I wasn't familiar with this bottle. You saw me looking at it in the video. It says on the bottom, hand-selected botanicals, so I don't know if this is contemporary or if it has any vintage vibe to it or not. I'm not familiar with it. I thought it had a nice look either way, and I didn't think $4 was such a bad price for this. That's what I paid for it, $4. It has a little bit of cleaning I need to do on it, but I just think, you know, the color on this was really pretty, and I think somebody would really enjoy using this in their decor. I also like this. It has like a handle. You can actually use it as a handle. I wish it had had the top, because somebody might actually be able to use this functionally for something. But it says, you know, like on the side, it has all the different botanicals. Lemon peel, jasmine berries, coriander, angelica, and I don't know what that says. Orris? Iris root? It's all on the side there. If anybody's familiar with this, I'm curious what this is about. I can Google Lens it and find out myself, but if you happen to know, just go ahead and put a comment below. I don't know what they charged me for this. It's a little leather change purse. I mean, it's really tiny, just a little leather change purse. It does say Museo del Prado on it. The zipper looks older on it, so I'm thinking it might be vintage, but these usually do pretty good. I don't put a big price on them, but they do find new homes when I put them in the booth. There were a couple of pieces in there from, I believe, Egypt. I believe this is from Egypt. Maybe a trip that was taken to Egypt. And this is actually kind of quite heavy. It's solid brass. And I really love the look of it. Very unique. I don't think I've ever come across one before. So I just really thought, yes, definitely. I like to pick up unique things. I did pay up a little bit for it, I think. $6. I would have liked to have seen that more around $3. But I think it's worth it. I'm going to have to do, again, I have to Google Lens all these and research all these items. I'll find out if I overpaid. So here is another piece I thought was fantastic. Also from Egypt. I think you saw me looking at it. Again, I did pay up a little bit for this, $8. I thought, you know, if I paid up for it, I might add this to my own collection of pottery pieces. But isn't this a hippo? This looks like a hippo to me, so this would be like a house hippo for somebody. You know, people like to pick up house hippos. But again, it's from Egypt. It has some great design on it. And I thought, yeah, I'll give that a try for $8. I think one of the favorite things I picked up there was this. Now, I don't think it's missing anything because I think the ears are painted on. Yeah, the ears are painted on. I thought maybe it would have had like leather ears or plastic ears, but it's this old, I think it's a dog that, you know, it has wheels, 2 wheels on the back, 1 wheel on the front, and its head kind of, it's weighted down here, so its head kind of bobs. I believe that is a dog. There was no price on it, and it was upstairs with the dolls. I think you saw me, I might have pulled this out during the video. And they only charged me $6 for this. I thought that was a really good price on this. I'll do some research on it, but this looks rather old to me. I mean, look at the metal fixture, you know, for the wheel, the nail on the wheel, or the rod, or whatever you call it, but it looks like it has some age to it. I'd be curious to see what I find out. Really, I think this is probably my favorite piece. Another piece I thought was pretty good was this case. I do like it. It was only $6. It is a vintage piece. Now it does have all this on the top. I think I pointed that out in the video. I don't know if that's water damage, so it may not come clean, but I thought it was worth giving it a try. The handle wasn't in bad condition. The zipper works. The interior is good. So overall, the condition is good, except for that little staining on the top. Now, if somebody was using this in display, they could display it up on the top of a shelf and you wouldn't even see the top. But again, I'm going to try to see if that'll come off. That may easily come right off. I swore I was done with children's stuff. I'm not going to get any more toys. They take a while to sell, but I did find some things that I couldn't pass up, like this great big bag full of horses. Horses usually do pretty good. So there's horses, there's some fencing in there. There's actually a rider in there, and I think I saw in this other bag I have a saddle. So this was $12 for this entire bag, and what my hope was that there were some valuable horses in there. Now I have to research. I don't think I've ever come across this style before. And what I find interesting about these is they actually, their heads articulate. So I guess, you know, when they look like they're galloping, their head could articulate. It does have a little marking on it right there, but I'm not, you know, I can't tell what it says. And I think, yeah, I didn't see anything on the bottom. There's several of this style in there, different colors, different breed of horse, but I was hoping for more of these. And these are the Briar Reeves horse. Now this one has some damage. Its ear is damaged right there, so probably not worth much of anything, but it's a little colt. And I was hoping there was more of these in there, but I think this might be the only one. I've got to go through the whole bag, but a whole bag of them. And for $12, even these horses that their heads articulate, I'm sure I'll at least get my money back, if not double it in some way. The other bag I picked up was only $5, and it is just this huge bag full of these I think it's Playmobil. They're mostly from the 90s. Again, it was only $5. Some of them from the 70s. All these little figurines. And I think what attracted me to it was these little ghost sheets. I thought these were really cute. But I thought, you know what, I'll give these a try for $5 while I was at the sale. I didn't take the time to research them, but it's all these little figurines. And some of them are pretty fantastic. I love this chief. I love the headdress on that one. Some of them are really great. And I think the ones from the 70s might have to do with Star Wars. I'm going to look and see. There's some clothing in here. I'm going to look and see if they are. And then there was this, like, I don't think he looks like he might be from Jamaica. Little wire figurine. I thought he was cute. And then there was also one little skeleton in here. He looks like look how tiny he is. He's so tiny. He looks like he could be a Lego piece, but it doesn't say Lego on it anywhere. I didn't see any markings on him. That's what the bottom of his feet look like and the top of his head. But such an adorable little skeleton. I thought he was so cute. He might just go in one of my little boxes that I put together, but I thought he was adorable. All right, I'm going to show you a couple more things, and then I think I'll wrap up this. There's a couple of little miscellaneous items. I don't need to show you everything because I really do want to give you an update on Steve, and I don't want the video to go too long. I found this there. Now, this surprised me. This cute pine cabinet, probably like a little medicine cabinet. You could put it on top of a counter in a bathroom. In great condition. Needs a little cleaning on the top. I think the top was a little dusty. $6. Other stuff priced $150 that really was, I think, way overpriced. And then this cute little pine cabinet. Yeah, there's definitely dust. That was $6. So yeah, I definitely grabbed that. I think you saw me looking at the binoculars. I did pick up those binoculars. And then I did pick up this little Pottery Barn clock. It was $2. I have no idea if it works. I thought for $2, it was worth giving it a try. I'm hoping it has just like standard like AAA batteries and not those disc batteries that cost so much money, but we'll give it a try. Why not? Okay, let's get to an update on Steve. And I'm not going to go over Steve's injury and everything. You can, if you're new to the channel and you're curious about this, you can go back several videos or a couple of videos and find out what's been going on. Before I start with that, though, I want to make sure I say thank you to a couple people. Beth with Carolina Princess and Sweet Treats and Pretties. Carolina Princess - Sweet Treats and Pretties. I'm going to link her channel below. She was so kind. We've never met in person. She knows Joanne from Bat Thrift Crazy. And again, I will link Joanne's channel below too. And they know each other. And Beth was so kind to take time during one of her live videos. She does a lot of live videos and really go into what's been going on with us and really reach out to her community of people to assist us and help us in any way, even if it's just in prayers. So Beth, thank you so much. Someday, maybe Steve and I will get to meet you in person and thank you in person for that kind act. It really was above and beyond. And then, of course, Joanne with Bat Thrift Crazy, I just want to say thank you again. She really has been trying to assist us in any way that she can. And Rhonda, our friend Rhonda, they've been doing some live jewelry sales. Oh, darn, I don't have the date. I'm going to put it right up here. There's going to be another one coming up. I don't have the date, but I'll put it right here for you. And during that live jewelry sale, what they're doing is putting the proceeds towards a GoFundMe page that she actually set up for us right away, right out of the gate. And it's really been very helpful. A lot of people have donated to it, and it's definitely helping me through this moment. And some of you have asked me to link it below. I was a little uncomfortable doing that. It just feels uncomfortable to me. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and if I can get that link below in the description of this video, I will put the link to that GoFundMe page for those of you that want to donate. You can also go over to Joanne at Bat Thrift Crazy to her page, and I really would love it if you'd give her some love and follow her if you're not following her as a thank you for doing this for us. She also has a Facebook page. I'll link that, and I'd love for you to follow her on that too. So thank you guys so much. There will be more thank yous as we go along, but those are my thank yous on this video. So update on Steve. I'll tell you guys, I'm not gonna lie, and I keep saying I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a horrible week. It's been just awful, an awful week. There was one bright spot in the week. I think since I talked to you last and gave you an update, I didn't go back and see what was the last update I gave you, but Steve was a tracheostomy was installed, which meant that he was able to be extubated. Now, that doesn't mean he's off the ventilator. It just meant that they put the entry for the ventilator here rather than through his mouth. And that gave him, I believe, some comfort. He finally was able to get some good oral care taking place. It's just not good to be intubated that long. You can get some scarring, and everything from that. So he's on he has a temporary tracheostomy. It's something I'm told that they can remove. And I've seen patients that have the scar where they've obviously had a tracheostomy at some point and it heals over. So I was okay with that. That wasn't a hard decision for me. Before he went in for the surgery, he was aware enough that I was able to discuss it with him and explain it to him why I felt it was important. We went that route so that he could continue to receive high doses of pain meds if he needed to, because those pain meds will bring your breathing down and still maintain a safe airway. I didn't want him to be in any pain. He doesn't like pain. He's one of these people that if he has any ache or pain, he wants to take an Advil. Where I'm like the opposite. I never take anything for my pain. So I knew that he wouldn't want to be in pain, and I know that his mother doesn't want him in pain. So I said yes to the tracheostomy. So that was on Friday. He didn't do so well coming out of surgery. His blood pressure kept crashing. We had a rough day on Friday. It was a long day of him getting through that. But then on Saturday, when I got up, I was like, I just need a break. And that's when I went to the estate sale and gave myself a little break from it. And when I got to the hospital after the estate sale, he was doing wonderful. He was doing wonderful. They were having him do a test where he was breathing through the trach on his own. He was off the ventilator, and they had him 4 hours. He breathed on his own, and I just thought, oh my gosh, we're turning the corner here. Getting that the intubation out was turning the corner. He's on his way to recovery. It's still going to be a long recovery, but we're making a move towards recovery. He and I actually were able to communicate more. It was a good day, and I'm going to hang on to that day because the next day was horrible. Sunday was just horrible. I was very distraught. He was distraught. He kept shaking his head. He was uncomfortable. There was all kinds of noises coming out of him. I would go and get the nurse. One of them got a little condescending with me. I didn't appreciate it. I felt like the respiratory therapy should be more involved. I felt like he was having a hard time. He was back on the ventilator, but I felt like something was not going right in his lungs, and he was trying to communicate it, shaking his head back and forth, waving his left arm, which is a mess. And I just didn't feel like they were addressing it, and I was very upset. And eventually I had to leave and go home because I have to go to work on Monday, get up at 5:30 in the morning to try to get to work early and meet my obligations there. And needless to say, he had a horrible Sunday night. He was in distress all night long. It wasn't until the team came in on Monday that they made changes immediately when they saw him in distress and got him sedated so that he wasn't in distress any longer. So, very unhappy with the team on Sunday and how they addressed how he was doing. And I don't know, maybe I should have stayed and screamed more or something. I don't know. I just felt like they weren't going to do anything no matter what I said. All right, let me stop this for a minute. It's not like they could have fixed whatever was causing the distress, but they could have made him more comfortable. That was the thing I think was upsetting to me. So that was Sunday. Today is Wednesday. Today is a month since his injury. And on Monday, I got the call from the doctor, explaining he had a very rough night. Like I said, the doctor made changes immediately. And on Monday, they said that, I can't even remember now, everything on Monday. I feel like on Monday, they started hinting that his kidneys had an injury. They started letting me know that his kidneys were injured and they weren't quite doing the job that they needed to be doing. And they started hinting towards the fact that he might have to go on dialysis. Oh my gosh, this is just awful. So yesterday was Tuesday, yeah. So Monday night, needless to say, I did not sleep at all. I cried and screamed and wailed and lived in fear the entire night that he might pass through the night. If your kidneys are shutting down, that is very dangerous. There was just so much going through my head and so much fear and anxiety. I didn't sleep the entire night, I don't think. And then Tuesday, you know, I had to go to work. So I went to work yesterday. And before I went to work, though, I got a call from nephrology and a long discussion about what they call CRRT. It's like a continuous dialysis. It's given in a very low dose because people that have burn injuries, they can't do the traditional dialysis where you go in 3 days a week. It just happens in 4 hours. It's just a lot of stress on the body when they do it quickly like that, and a burn patient just can't tolerate it. So they have to give him continuous dialysis at a very slow pace. And, you know, she wanted to discuss all that with me. And one of the things that they told me on Monday night was that, you know, they can't guarantee that once they put him on dialysis that he'll ever come off it, that he might be on dialysis the rest of his life. And this was just devastating news for me. Very devastating. I just can't imagine, you know, Steve's not going to remember these last 4 weeks. I'm going to remember every minute of these last 4 weeks, but he's probably not going to remember a lot of it. And then, you know, he's going to have that moment where, I don't even know if he'll remember the injury now, but he'll have the moment where he was going to work and he got injured and he wakes up and he's burnt all over his body with skin grafts everywhere. He's got a tracheostomy in, and he now is on dialysis the rest of his life. You know, I don't even know how you break that information to somebody. You know, a healthy man, for the most part, he did have some a congenital heart condition that was being monitored, but it was okay. You know, healthy man for the most part, maybe a little bit overweight, but nothing wrong, functioning 100% in life. And to go from that to just this is, oh my goodness, I am just distraught over it. I'm distraught over it. And it really was a very hard decision for me to give the permission to allow them to put him on dialysis yesterday. I didn't have a choice. I really didn't have a choice, because the doctor basically said to me, if we don't do it, he's probably going to pass in the next couple of days, because your kidneys, you know, if your kidneys don't function, everything goes down, you know, goes downhill. So I really didn't have a choice. This is a life-saving measure again. And so we're on that road. They started him on it last night about 9:45. He started dialysis, and it's continuous. Now, they tried to give me some hope, and I'm going to try to hang on to that hope, but I'm telling you, this journey is difficult, and I'm a realist. I do believe in hope. I have faith. I have a faith in God, but I'm also a realist. She, you know, did tell me that, you know, a lot of burn patients going on CRRT are different than regular ICU patients going on. You know, she said he came in a relatively healthy man. He had a lot going for him there. So there's a real good chance that he'll be able to come off this. But she says, I cannot guarantee that he will. And so the nephrologist told me that if he's still on it after 3 months, if his kidneys haven't woken up, they likely never are going to. And they probably are damaged enough that he will probably have to be on dialysis the rest of his life. So that's where we're at. This video is going to be so long. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. I don't mean to be negative. But I have a little bit of anger in me right now. I'm very upset that my husband went to work, a healthy man, and now, you know, if he makes it through this, because I have the big fear that he's not even going to make it through this. If he makes it through this, he's going to come out, his life completely changed, our lives completely devastated and changed. I've watched my brother go through dialysis. I watched my sister-in-law go through dialysis with my brother. It's not easy. It's not easy. We're not going to pretend this is an easy road. It's not easy. And I don't know what that's going to mean for our life and, you know, how we're going to function. And on top of that, all the burns and the scars and everything that's going to go on, and the maintenance that's going to go on with that. There's a lot of maintenance with a burn injury. So this is a big deal. This is life-changing, and I'm trying to get my mind in the right place for it, but I didn't have a very good week. So forgive me. I'm not as positive as I need to be right now. Hopefully I'll get there again, but yeah, not the best week. All right, everybody, that's it for this week. I don't know when another video will come out. I'll let you know when it does. I hope everybody takes good care, and keep praying. That's all I can ask for.